Hey everybody, it's Father Lance Harlow with the St. Nicholas Project. What can Catholic middle school students teach us about raising money for a children's home in southern Vermont? Stay with me in just a moment, and we're going to do a great interview today with kids from St. Michael and St. Monica Catholic School in Barre, Vermont. Don't go away. Today, I'm at St. Monica, St. Michael School in Barre, Vermont with these amazing middle school students. In December of 2018, the St. Nicholas Project did a Catholic middle school essay contest. And you guys remember you all submitted essays for the contest. And the goal of the contest was kind of twofold. It was to talk about Kurn Hatin Homes for Children in Westminster, Vermont, but also it was to talk about some ideas you had for raising money, to get money for the kids there, the boys and girls. It was also to talk about some public relations, so how to get the message out about the school. So today we're here to interview these kids. They had amazing ideas about fundraising and about public relations. So I remember reading some of your essays and being very impressed. Who wants to go first and tell me an idea that you had for raising money? Alex.
So my idea for raising money is you could make blankets and quills. And because it's easy and it's fun, and it's also good for kids to learn how to sew stuff in case they pop a button off their shirt. And also you could teach them like how to do special stitches to make blankets look cool. And they're also kind of fuzzy and warm right now. And
Yeah.
It's a good time to have a blanket.
They'd be perfect. And then they would sell those blankets to get some money and do that. And you know what they could also do with the blankets? Like, what kind of a special design would you have on the blankets if your kids are doing it? What would kids like to see on blankets?
Well, they might like to see like trucks, flowers.
Yeah, or Aquaman too, or Spider-Man. If you guys had those in your house, would you use it? A blanket with Spider-Man on it, Aquaman on it? Yeah. I think it's a great idea. My sister, as a matter of fact, made pillowcases, did something similar. She had a bunch of her friends make almost 100 pillowcases, and they had things on it like SpongeBob and cartoon characters and stuff, and the kids loved them. But I think for a fundraiser, that'd be a great idea. Who else has some ideas from your essay that you want to share with us today? Cole, what did you have?
I was thinking maybe we could do something like a bottle drive.
Yeah.
Where we could collect bottles and any redeemable cans and bottles that we could take to a local redemption center and turn them in for money.
Yeah, so where would the people bring the bottles in? Would they bring it here to St. Monica School and go to Kurn Hatin?
We bring them in the morning,
and
we'll have signs out the day before that, and we can send out other kind of messages about it.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Have you ever done a bottle drive before?
Yeah, we've done it 3 or 4 times here.
Does it bring in much money?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite profitable.
I did a bottle drive when I was down at Christ the King School some years ago. And do you know what I remember about doing the bottle drive and the cans? Soda being everywhere. So when the cans come in and you're trying to sort it out, soda being everywhere. I think that'd be a great idea. Would you like to head that up here at St. Monica, St. Michael?
Sure.
Great. We have one customer here who's going to be in charge of the bottle drive. Did anybody else have any kind of bottle drive, stuff like that? Or were you the only one from the class? Nobody else had it? What some other ideas did you guys have? Because they're all good. Isabella, what did you have?
I thought we could set up a collection at our church. So when the kids go to church on Wednesdays or on Sundays, the parishioners could donate some money.
So would it be for like the mass for the school mass? Or would it be like on a Sunday mass and Saturday night mass?
Yeah, or we could have it for like, we could set either a basket up like by the door where they could just drop some money or coins in, or we could have people walk down the aisles and collect money.
I think that'd be a great idea. And how would you let people know what the money is going to be used for? How would you let them know in advance?
Well, our priest could, like, before the collection, he could inform our parishioners about what it's going to be used for, or if we set up a basket by the door, we could have a big sign that says.
Yeah, you can make some signs and have some posters. And since you've all done the research, you could say a little bit about it from what you've learned already, right? Now, somebody had a great idea about a movie night. Who was the one who had the idea about the movie night? Charlotte, was you? Tell me a little bit about the movie night, because I like that one.
So there would be a concession stand, and any money we raised from the concession stand would go to Kurn Hatin, and people would donate the food for the concession stand, like they would bake it. And we would, at the beginning, there would be someone that would explain where the money's going.
Yep.
And let them know that there's like a donations box for Kurn Hatin, and explain a little bit about the school as well.
Yeah. So you could have a team working on this, because some of you have some ideas about having a bake sale or something, right? Who has Gabe, you had an idea about a bake sale?
Yes, bake sales usually work out pretty well. We've had a couple here,
Yeah.
and not only do the donators, they also get something out of it instead of just the people.
Yeah. So what if you tied in the bake sale with the movie night and have this whole combination of both of them? What are the big items for the bake sale? What do people like to buy?
We usually have like cookies, brownies, and a few other things that most people like to make.
Yeah, those are big sellers, right? Because they're not good for you. That's why everybody likes them. So bad for you. That's good. Now, the hardest thing for a movie night for me would be what kind of movie to show. So how are you going to sort that out, Charlotte?
I'm not really sure yet. We could do like a kids movie so that like the kids would enjoy it.
Yeah.
If we did like more of an adult movie, not like the kids wouldn't come,
Yeah.
and then I feel like it would attract less people.
Yeah, so directed towards the kids raising money to help poor kids. I think that's a great idea, yeah. Would you do it during the winter, do you think, or during the summer or the fall? Have you thought about, what do you think? If you're going to a movie, do you want to go to a movie in the winter time, or summertime, or fall when it's back to school time?
Probably the winter.
Probably the winter time when it's cold and snowy and you don't want to go anywhere. You could come in, and then you could have hot food at the bake sale, or the cookies and the cakes and stuff like that. I think that's excellent. Yeah. Who else had a different idea or something similar? Sophia, what did you have?
I had the idea to do some sort of bake sale, but I was thinking more that the children at Kurn Hatin could bake their own like baked goods
Yeah.
to sell, so that they could learn how to bake, and it's a great experience to make something and then see that it helped.
Yeah, and you know where I see that places make a lot of money with a bake sale is they go to the rest stops on the interstate. Have you heard of that? Some of the churches do that. They make these baked items and they go to the rest stops, and so when people are stopping at the rest area, they buy a snack while they're there, and they can bring like $1,000 doing that. So that'd be a lot of fun to do. Who else some ideas who hasn't had a chance to speak yet? Ruby, what was your idea?
Like to kind of like advertise Kurn Hatin on like social media and stuff, just so that more people know about like the school and what it does for kids.
That's great. I like the idea about public relations, because you know what I found out? Kurn Hatin Homes has been there since 1894. 125 years it's been there. And so many people in Vermont have never even heard about it. So Ruby, if you're going to start being in charge of social media for, say, this age group, what's the best kind of social media to use for middle school kids or high school kids to get their attention these days? What's in and what's out?
Like probably things like Instagram and Facebook and like.
Is Instagram in? That's popular?
Yeah.
Is Facebook still popular?
Probably not as much for like kids.
That's what I'm hearing. I hear it's the older generation's more into Facebook now.
Yeah.
What about YouTube? Is YouTube in for kids or is YouTube out for kids?
Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's in, people watch YouTube and stuff. Usually they search for like the stuff that they like or that they want to watch, so.
Exactly. It's a great way to learn information is to go on YouTube. What about websites and blogging? Is that popular among this crowd, or do you not go to websites for information?
Not like, I don't know, not as much for that kind of stuff. Like, kids would probably go to more things like YouTube and Instagram.
Yeah. So if we were on YouTube or if we were on Instagram, we could take some pictures of the kids down there, or maybe some pictures of you guys interacting with the kids. You know, doing some activities with the kids. That'd be great. Who else had a great idea and hasn't had a chance to speak yet before we go? Alex, did you talk already?
No.
What was your idea?
I think if we did a bottle drive, I know when I did it for soccer, we could raise a couple more pennies because the people who take the bottles would give us a little bit more money for raising money.
If they knew what it was for, too. It was for a charity. You know, I had an idea to use with our Catholic schools, too, and that was during Lent, was to have like a penny drop, like a bucket or a bottle or something, like a piggy bank, and the kids would bring in pennies, just pennies, and drop them into this piggy bank thing, and whatever class brought in the most amount of pennies would receive some kind of prize. Do you think that would work at a school, the Catholic schools in Vermont? Just like a penny drop-off, just pennies, no dollar bills, nothing else, just penny drop-off. And we do all of the Catholic schools in Vermont, and whatever class brought in the most amount of money would get some kind of prize. Do you think that would be a good idea to do? Do you think you can make enough money with pennies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
At the end.
I think St. Monica's and Michael School is going to be the leader now in our Lenten drive for charity for Kurn Hatin Homes. All right, does anybody have any, tell me something that you learned about Kurn Hatin that struck you that you never even knew about before. And you read about it, and it's like, wow, I never knew about this, or this is amazing what they do there. Yeah, Alex?
You guys do like every single sport, and I think that's really good because kids stay active and they are healthy, and also that they can be in a lot of activities.
Yeah, how many of you read about the horseback riding program? Did you read about that? The kids can ride horses. I've seen those horses. They're huge. I would not get up on top of one of those horses. They're huge. But you know why they do it? It's not just for exercise or recreation. It's also for therapy for the children, that they bond with the horses and they learn to take care of them. And they find it soothing. It's called equine therapy, horse therapy. They find it soothing for them to be interacting with the horses and all. Who else learned something about it that you never knew about before or has stayed with you? Yeah, Charlotte.
They participate in everyday activities like building snowmen or going to the river to swim.
Yeah. And they have a lot of land there too. I don't know if you saw many pictures of it online, but they have a lot of land. Hopefully someday we can make a field trip and you can go down there for a day and see the location and see the things that are going on there so you can see firsthand what's going on. All right? Thank you all for watching the program today on this channel. Stay tuned for the next channel, our next program, when we do some more things on Kurn Hatin Homes for Children. Let's say goodbye, everybody. Bye.